Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. In today's video, I'm going to be admitting something I never thought I'd admit. So stay tuned for that. But before we get to that, let's talk a little bit about what today's video is going to be about. So I'm going to be talking about Pokemon Let's Go and what has changed since the first time I played this game and if my opinion has changed. So let's jump right into that with a little bit of backstory. So I bought Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu day one, November 16, 2018. Day one purchase because all Pokemon games are day one purchase for me. So Miranda and I are going through the game and we played pretty consistently for about 2 or 3 days. Like, we were playing all the time. I go to the gym and she's trying to train for shinies. And we get to about the 4th badge. Something clicked, I guess didn't click, and we both admitted the game was lacking. Like, it felt really boring. And so we put the game down and haven't touched it since. Well, I picked up the game about a week and a half ago, and I played through the whole game in about 23 hours, and I want to talk about why I didn't like the game before and what I think about it now. So let's get right into the first reason why I didn't like Pokemon Let's Go when I first played it. So the first reason I didn't like Pokemon Let's Go was because it took place in Kanto, and we only get the first 150 Pokemon. 151 if you have the Pokeball, if you paid the extra $20 for the Pokeball to get Mew. Now, I didn't think this would be an issue, but as I played through the game was a little bit too familiar. Like, there's such thing as too much nostalgia. We have been to Kanto in Red, Blue, Yellow, Gold, Silver, Crystal, Leaf Green, Fire Red, Heart Gold, Soul Silver, and now Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. I think that's 12 times if you include every game individually. But that's too many times. Nostalgia runs off, especially when you like me and you play multiple Pokemon games a year and you probably play through each game once a year. Nostalgia wears off. And then with the original 150, it just kind of sucked because I was missing guys like Crobat, Steelix, all the guys that evolved in later gens didn't evolve in Gen 1. And that kind of sucked, and it would have been nice to see other Pokemon in this game, and that was kind of a turnoff. But after playing it again, after picking it up and trying it again, I will say that I got over that. Kanto in this game is almost a whole new experience. Like, it looks super nice. It's a very nice looking region, especially on the Switch. It has kind of a different storyline a little bit. It's more of the yellow storyline. You see Jesse James, you have different characters you run into, and the gyms are different. There's different things about the gyms that make them interesting. So after playing it, there was just enough to make it new for me, and I didn't see that right away. I just saw Kanto, but I really took the time to enjoy the game, I guess, differently. And I saw different things that I really liked about the game. As for the 150 Pokemon ordeal, it made me use Pokemon that normally I wouldn't use. Like, in my team, for example, I had Magmar, I had Chansey, I had Golbat, I had Seadra, I had Onix until I got that shiny Graveler, so I had to switch them up for Golem because I have to have the shiny on my team if I get one. It was nice to be able to use them without the pressure of them evolving, or without thinking, oh man, I wish I had Magmortar, or I wish I had Crobat. And after playing it, I didn't have any issue with missing the other guys. I didn't notice. Because it's Kanto, and it's like Red, Blue, Yellow, and that's the point. So I got over that pretty quick. The second reason I didn't like the game to begin with was because catching a level up really took a lot of the fun out of the game for me. As tacky as it sounds, I like leveling up my team via battles because I like to form bonds with them, and I know that sounds super stupid, but every Pokemon I get kind of has its own story. I name my Pokemon, I have a whole story for them, and it's super dumb. But I really get attached to my team, and having to catch the level up really took that away from me. I didn't get as many battles in as I like. When I did do battles, they were stupid easy and they barely gave any experience, so it really made me have to catch Pokemon to level up, which I was kind of annoyed at first. But after playing it the second time, I was in between Pokemon games, so I just finished Diamond a couple weeks ago, and I'm starting XD while I'm recovering from my wisdom tooth surgery. And honestly, being able to just passively catch Pokemon to grind and level up before the Elite Four was super nice. It was nice just to be able to watch TV and press A to catch Pokemon and know that your Pokemon are leveling up. And it was super nice, very passive. It was very easy, and it didn't require any thinking. It didn't require anything. It didn't require me to use PP. It didn't require me to run back to Pokemon Center. Catching was very nice. And normally I wouldn't say that, like, I don't want the future games to be like that, but if they do a Let's Go series and continue that, I'll probably end up being fine with it in the future. And tied in with the catching aspect, before the controls were very gimmicky. I was using the Joy-Con, Miranda was using the other one, and we'd have to flick our stupid wrists until they're black and blue to catch these Pokemon. And while you would think it'd be aiming at the Pokemon, if they're off to the side, you would have to flick your wrist that way, or you flick your wrist or you flick your wrist that way to manipulate the Pokeball to go that way. Honestly, that just got kind of old because it wouldn't work the way you'd want it to. And to remedy this playthrough, I did it handheld, and that was so much better. Pokemon Let's Go, Pikachu and Eevee are so much better handheld. Trust me on this, so much better. The next reason I didn't care for Pokemon Let's Go right away was because in Pikachu or Eevee, the starters are absolutely broken. Pikachu gets Zippy Zap like right away. It's a priority electric move with like I think 60 base power, always crits, and it's just absolutely just ridiculous. And it was just so dumb to think that they're giving you this basically legend Pokemon, because really, like, if you combine Candy with that, Pikachu's gonna be overpowered. Pikachu's gonna be able to absolutely destroy anything. And it was just kind of dumb to me that they would do that to give people kind of a false Pokemon experience. It was honestly kind of just, it felt childish. And then I kind of stepped back, I thought about it, and I realized that, hey, I don't have to use the starter. So I dropped Pikachu. I honestly caught a Rattata, and I named him Manic. Manic was a freaking little badass. I wish I would have kept him as a Rattata because he was so cute following me. But I had Eradicate as my starter, and I didn't have to use Pikachu, so I didn't, because he was OP and honestly really stupid, and they need to stop with this childish kind of stupid shit they do, because it's just dumb to give Pokemon silly moves like that that don't, I don't know. I get it, because it's Pokemon Let's Go, it's for casual people, for newcomers, for children, for your grandma. And I'll tie that in with the Candy too. The Candy system is broken. You can literally have Pokemon with like infinite stats. Not infinite, but like 999 in every stat. Of course, it would take forever to get that much candy, but it is possible. And EVs and IVs aren't really a thing. Like they are, but they aren't. It's just absolutely broken. And I thought that was really stupid too. I would see a picture online of a Chansey with its stat bar like through the numbers, and it was just the dumbest thing ever. And it just made me upset and made me think that they literally made this game for 6-year-olds. And I know that's gonna offend people, but that's how I felt before. But after playing, I realized that, hey, I don't have to use all of the candy. I don't have to max out my stats. I can do whatever I want. So I gave maybe 15 candies for 2 stats that I cared about to make my Pokemon interesting and unique, like make Eradicate a little faster than he is usually, but I didn't do anything absolutely insane, anything game breaking, and it made the game a lot more fun to me because I like sticking to what Pokemon actually is. So I just realized I didn't have to do that shit. So it made the game a lot better, it made my peace of mind a lot better. The next reason I didn't care for Pokemon Let's Go right away was because there was no natures and no held items. Now, no held items has been done before. Red, Blue, Yellow had no held items and no abilities. Gold, Silver, Crystal added held items but didn't have abilities. And that originally kind of bummed me out because I like the idea of giving my Pokemon items, optimizing what they hold and their abilities and all this stuff. But in the end, when I played through it the second time, I just realized that, hey, I gotta treat this game like Red, Blue, Yellow, Gold, Silver, Crystal. So I didn't think I was missing any abilities or held items. The game was honestly too easy to the point where held items were pointless. You don't need held items because the game was stupid easy. Very rarely would you feel like you need a leftovers or a toxic orb because you can't use guts anyways because there's no abilities. And then along with no abilities is the fact that you could hit Weezing with Earthquake, you could hit Vaporeon with Scald. You didn't have to worry about Alakazam with Synchronize. You didn't have to worry about Insomnia and Hypno. There was just so many things you didn't have to worry about. And honestly, that made the game unique to me because one thing I do like about going back to Red, Blue, Yellow, Gold, Silver, Crystal is the fact that there are no abilities. There's no stuff like that. It definitely made the game different to me, and I just honestly really ended up appreciating that in the end. Or maybe I just didn't notice because the game was too easy. I didn't have to think about all that stuff. Either way, no abilities, no held items. It was fine in the end. I didn't die. So those are the main reasons why I originally didn't like the Let's Go series. So I just want to admit one thing. I actually enjoyed Pokemon Let's Go, and I actually am going to apologize for ever saying anything bad about it because after taking a step back and thinking, I realized this game isn't made for me. It wasn't made for people who like competitive battles, who like EVs, who like breeding for competitive Pokemon, who like battle towers, who like all that stuff. It wasn't made for me. It was made for casuals, made for newcomers, made for younger people. And that's okay, because not every Pokemon game has to be made for me. And if you are skeptical about it because you're like me and consider yourself a hardcore Pokemon gamer, just take a step back, think about it differently, and give it a try again because it isn't too bad and you might actually end up enjoying it. So that's the end of today's video. Thank you all for watching. It was very hard for me to admit that I like Pokemon Let's Go, but I did. and I'm really happy I got this video out because it's like getting it off my chest. And I appreciate you all for watching. Remember to hit that subscribe button. Remember to hit that like button. Let me know down in the comments below if you guys like Pokemon Let's Go, if you didn't like about it, or if maybe this video has changed your opinion on it. Just let me know down in the comments. And as always, thank you all for watching and have a fantastic week.